Hello everyone. I am Masae Sakae, person in charge of English Public Relations in JICA Colombia.
My name is Naoki Kamijo, resident representative of JICA Colombia.
This time we will have a third opportunity to share with you our real and direct voices of victims of conflict and violence in this country through the translation of two books published by the Medellin Municipal Office. Today we would like to put spotlight on the content of the second book. Well, Mr. Kamijo, before entering the presentation, I can't help paying attention on the photo of your right hand. Is that the photo of Madame Sadako Ogata, the former High Commissioner of UNHCR and also ex-president of our organization, isn't it? What does that mean?
I could dedicate myself to the work of translation only on a weekend. However, especially during this difficult time of the pandemic, we have a lot of stresses and I'm not the exception. I had to put aside my translation because I really needed to do other things just for a change. But on the other hand, I did feel the necessity of finishing the translation as soon as possible. At those moments, in order to raise my spirits, I looked at this photo of Madame Ogata, who dedicated her entire life to human security, the well-being of the people, especially for the vulnerable on the planet.
Really, Mr. Kamijo, it seems that the spirit of Madame Ogata is encouraging all of the staff of our office to work for the good cause. By the way, we have received several questions from the audience, so I will share them with the answer for our audience. The first question, what is the name of the opening and ending song for your presentation? Whose song, who are covering the song, and what is the message of them? Well, the title of the opening song is To Fall Away, of Japanese legendary singer-songwriter Keiko Mizukoshi, and Mika Kuratomi of our office is covering the song with other members of the office. The message behind the song is just as its lyrics said, I always think about you in spite of the great distance between us. We and Colombian and the Japanese, especially during this time of epidemic, are living miles and miles away. And it's very hard to see each other, but the people staying here to thinking of you and waiting for you coming back to this country. As we have uploaded the promotion video with other staff of the office on YouTube, please watch it if you like. As for the ending song, its title is Hanashi Taku. In English, I Can Never Leave You, of Japanese very famous rock band T-BOLAN, written by Mr. Moritake and Ricardo Chiku of our office, is covering this touching-hearted song. The message in this song is just as its lyrics said, I tried to stake my life on believing instead of giving up. I wanted to be with my feeling emotion and strong with never forgetting our loved ones and never give up our fight for living. It coincides with the strong feeling of the victim family and the eternal love for their loved one. Well, at the next question, the video which appear on the monitor, is that project of JICA? What kind of a project, isn't it?
Well, this is a project that the Japanese government had supported the Colombian people and its government by way of technical assistance through dispatching JICA's expert, Mr. Toshiaki Kurihara, who had worked with Colombian people for the development of the communities where the ex-domestic refugees return as a result of restoration of their land. Respecting the viewpoint of victims, the project is now generating great effect for the benefit of the victims.
We can also check this video on our YouTube channel, so please check it on later. So Mr. Kamijo, could you share with us some of the videos, voices of victims from the second translator of the two books? Last time we shared with the audience the outline to the victim and part of their tragic experience. This time, what are the characteristics of their stories?
This time, the protagonists of the stories are the same as those of last time, other 20 victims. But I'd like to put focus on the points from which we can and have to learn. In other words, which they can teach us from their unforgettable experiences. I will do this because I think it's our obligation to make the victims' experiences significant for everyone. I have selected 4 such points.
Of course, those 20 victims has 20 different stories and voices, and we cannot estimate easily. But to the limit of the time, we dare selected only 4 points. Am I right, Mr. Kamijo?
Yes, you're right, Sakai-san. Let me present to you the first group of voices. They are the voices that teach us not to give up easily, the clamor of the victims to move forward in spite of their adversity. A man kidnapped by guerrillas, got in custody, and taken away from one place to another in the tropical jungle for more than 100 days. However, he and his wife had never given up the hope and made great effort to be liberated. And the mother of the disappeared son, after struggling with hundreds of obstacles, including bureaucracies, with great patience, overcame the difficulties and finally found his body to give him a Christian funeral, which he really deserved.
Making a step forward may be difficult, but without resignation, taking a half step forward, and finally we can find and open up our way.
Well, as for the second group of voices, I mentioned that even in the very bottom of their difficulties, many victims are not alone, and there are people who extend their hands to support them, people who sympathize and show great solidarity with them. It seems to me that they are saying, hey, you are not alone, and please don't feel lonely.
I think those words are very meaningful, not only for the victim facing conflict and violence, but also for everybody who has to live this life full of difficulty, in spite of the difference to its significance.
Well, as for the third group, the voices suggest us that to overcome the tragedy, to conquer the difficulty, yes, can be possible. And after struggling without giving up, we can find a light of spiritual peace ahead of us. For example, a woman whose husband was kidnapped by guerrillas, and at the final moment of his rescue, he was shot by them and died. Of course, she hates the criminals, but if she could not be free from the grudge, she would never feel peaceful for the rest of her life. However, this lady one day found that there exists the natural power, the power of not hating others. She said, the God let me realize that kind of power and gave it to me. And she really got free.
Naturally, she must have a very difficult time before reaching that point. But yes, she could alive to that point. Maybe her voice is a proof of that kind of positive power of human being.
The fourth and last is the message observed throughout this second book. That is, our life with the freedom and the peace. Our living with our loved ones, our enjoying ordinary and common life. Although they look so simple, they are the most important things for our life, and they are the very things that we should protect and cherish. The voices throughout the book sending this clear message to all of us.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kamijo. Well, Mr. Kamijo, how do we follow this work in the future?
I think that in those voices there are many lessons learned only in exchange of their priceless life and the experiences from which all the humankind should learn. If we can get permission of sharing these books as electronic books in public, I would like to do it. Moreover, if there are many supporters, I'd like to translate them into English to share with all the people around the world. Anyway, I'd like to share the development of this small project with our followers and audiences.
Today, with this third version, we conclude this phase for now. And if you sympathize with us, please click the button of like, and also please feel free to say us any comment. And if you are still not subscribed to our YouTube channel and Facebook, please do it. So everyone, see you again in this channel. Goodbye for now.
Adiós amigos, hasta la próxima.